it is. You will always be remembered for the creator of this. Here it is. So this happened in your life, and we're talking about all of you. This happened in your life and it made you ask for that. And that happened and it made you ask for that. And that happened and made you ask for that. And so over time, there's just a whole lot of rockets of desire that you have rocketed to your vortex, where your inner being focuses on the components as they come, bees the whole of the sum of everything you put there, and stands in a completely non-resistant state as the attractor on your behalf of all of those ingredients. It's bigger than that. Not just the ingredients individually, but what's made from the ingredients. Not the flour and the salt and the sugar, the cake. Not the pieces and components. Not the liked that experience, didn't like that experience, prefer that. All of the pieces of your ideal mates are already there. All of the pieces of the empires you are building, all there. Not individual pieces, already been collected. In other words, the cooperative components have been gathered for you. It's time for you to not just open yourself to more allowing, but to open yourself to more asking for more in your expanded capacity to ask. That's worth a drum roll right there. In your expanded capacity to ask. Because so many of you are either overwhelmed or bored. Well, it doesn't have to be one or the other. Both of those are on the negative end of the stick. You can be inspired and uplifted and eager and adventurous. You can be clever and a good attractor. You can be successful. You can walk through a mall and be drawn to something that you want that you forgot that you needed. Your inner being has your to-do list. Your inner being has your to-want list. And your inner being knows the fullness of what you want, not just the paltry little things that you've decided to let yourself have. Your inner being knows the possibilities. Your inner being knows your capabilities. Your inner being knows your worthiness. Your inner being has already expanded on your behalf and is calling you. Just go. Just go. Not just to allowing, but to letting yourself want. To letting yourself want that car because it's beautiful and it's fast. And because it rings my bells and because I like it and because it matches my ring. I want it. I want it. Esther's friend said, don't you want to test drive it? No. I want it. It's beautiful. I want it. And then when she drove it, it's got a real blind spot. There's a real blind spot. She wished she'd test driven it because it's got a real blind spot. She can't quite get around it. So what happened? She just launched another rocket. She thinks she has to keep that car more than a week if she doesn't like it? Do you think she needs to keep that car more than a week? Don't you think she should release it to a taller person who doesn't have a blind spot? Great big chunky mirror and a great big post right there, and it all fits together, and she can't see around the corner. She can't see around the corner. She's used to her big Escalade. She can see everything from there. Great big mirrors. She's up way high. She knows what she likes. She knows what works for her. Why would she settle for something that isn't working for her? Why would any of you settle for something that isn't working for you? Why would you put up with something less than what you want? So let yourself have what you know you want, and then let yourself want more that thrills you, because that's enlivening. That's life. Show yourself what you intended when you came. You didn't say, I'll go and I'll share. I won't take more than my fair share of the pie. Instead, you said, I'm going to go create a pie. I'm going to go make my own pie. And I'm going to just keep adding to my pie. My pie's just going to get bigger and bigger. And I'm not going to deprive anybody else of their pie. I'm just going to make my pie. I'm just going to identify my pie, and I'm just going to eat my pie. Carbs and all. Helpful? Really good. Really good. Really good. You're having a very good time whether you know it or not. Your energy has shifted. Your future is different, immediately different. You're going to see. You're going to see.
Hi. I feel like I'm in a very good place at the right time.
Clearly, because this is a room full of faces that Esther cannot see, but the light that came out of you back there was
I'm so
unmistakable.
excited.
Yeah.
And yes, so I joined the workshop in Philadelphia with you, and it was brilliant. It was beautiful. There was so much talks about basketball, and I feel like I got really interested in it as well. Like, I don't understand rules, but I live in New York, and you said that Esther loves Spurs. Yes.
Esther wants you to have this bracelet. It says, "Go Spurs, go."
Oh, perfect.
You don't really want that, do you?
Well, and I didn't know about the games, and then I realized that Knicks are playing in finals, and it just happened like yesterday. The funniest story: I went to buy light bulbs, and on my way to the store, I saw like a group of people. Everybody was watching the game. They just pulled TV outside.
All lighted up. Yeah. The whole city.
Outside, yes, yeah. Sitting with seats, and I joined them, and it was so much fun. Yeah. And oh my God, brilliant game, yeah. Masters of alignment and focus. I enjoyed it so much.
Two powerful teams bringing the best from each other.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
And I have desire now. I have a wish. I would like to see the game at Madison Square Garden. Yes, please help me to align. How do I align myself with it?
Esther intends to see the game at Madison Square Garden from the comfort of her television. It's like people all over the world are visiting with us today. We're not trying to talk you out of anything. There are so many stories that we could tell you. One day at one workshop, two different people came to the hot seat and told two very similar stories on very different subjects. One of them was wanting to get to an Abraham workshop, and her flight had been canceled. And so they sent her to the help desk at the airlines, and there just weren't any available flights that were going to get her there in time. But her desire was really strong, and her eagerness was really strong, and she managed to hold herself in a good-feeling place. She talked quite a bit about that. And then the woman who had been talking to her for quite some time said, "Wait a minute, hold on." And she made a phone call, and she said, "If you can get to terminal such and such and gate such and such really quickly, they can get you to where you want to go." And so she raced and made it. And when she got on the airplane, she was the only person on the plane, because it was a plane that needed to be moved to somewhere else. It was there that needed to go over there. And it just happened to come at the precise moment that this person wanting something, really wanting something, with no resistance. The flight attendants were all there. It was like they were all there just for her. The whole plane was there just for her. She said, "How does this happen?" And we say, "It's the way it's supposed to be for you. The universe is supposed to knock itself out for you. And if you're in a place of allowing." At the same seminar, another woman sat in the hot seat and told this story. She and her friend were taking a walk, and they had really wanted to come to these stories were about Abraham seminars, because they were at an Abraham seminar, and of course those are our favorite stories as well. Wanting to come to a seminar and did not have the money. Really wanted to come, could not afford it, could not afford the flight or the ticket for the seminar. But they were talking about the things that were working. They're girlfriends that walked together a lot. So they were not talking from a place of discouragement. They were talking from a place, as you are, talking from a place of pure wanting. From a place of sort of new desire discovered and not much resistance built up about it. So that's where they were. So they're walking, and the girl that was in the hot seat said that she looked over and she saw something in the bushes. The sun had hit it just right. And she looked over, and in the leaves, she found an earring that was appraised for thousands and thousands of dollars. Someone had lost it. It was just a treasure waiting for somebody who was tuned in, tapped in, turned on. And so there she is. Sounds far-fetched, but it isn't. Jerry gave Esther, he hardly ever gave her anything. Well, because they were always together, so he could never surprise her. But he'd given her a pair of earrings. And it was the yin and the yang. And Esther said, I don't know what that means. And he said, well, it's about eternity. These are your forever earrings, he said to her. Little gold posts, really beautiful. And one day from the apartment they were living in, as Esther got into the car, she just happened to notice her earring wasn't there. She had just put it on, and now it wasn't there. Her forever earrings, it was like, I can't lose my forever earrings. And so they traced their steps. They went back to the apartment. They went up the stairs. They went down the stairs. They looked everywhere. Esther really desperate to find it. Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere. How could it have gone so far? We just went down the stairs and down this sidewalk and down this sidewalk and in the car. How can it not be there? But finally she gave up. Jerry said, you just have to give it up. I'm forever. That turned out to be a lie. No, it really didn't. I'm forever. The earring doesn't matter. And so in time, Esther let go of it. And then one day, weeks later, they're walking through the corridor between the buildings, and something caught Esther's attention. And do you know, it was the post of that earring. You know what a post on an earring looks like? Like a little needle? Post of the earring sticking up through the soil. Just at that moment, the light shined on it just right. Esther found her earring. Because her inner being knows where it is. Your inner being knows where everything is. Your inner being knows what your resistance is about everything. Your inner being knows how to call you around the components of your resistance. Your inner being knows where your points of greatest receptivity are and calls you toward those and calls you toward those. That's why the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. There are no limitations. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. And these opportunities are just opportunities for you to come. It's important that you trust the universe. And we want to say all the things that will help you do that, but words don't teach. What makes you trust is you wanting and receiving and 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 wanting and receiving. And after a while, it just becomes your expectation that somehow, some way, and you're not fussy about the particulars, you're just in this place where you know that you can just allow the universe to yield to you in the way that is most conducive to your letting it in. Your inner being is never saying, well, that stubborn little person is not letting it in, and so let's look somewhere else where there's less stubbornness. Your inner being is always saying, you want that, and maybe this will help. You want that, and maybe this will help. You want this, and maybe this will help. There's nothing off limits. There's nothing too much. There's no one that's not worthy of it. Your inner beings, you all have an inner being, are calling you to what you want. You just have to develop a trusting relationship between you and your inner being. And you will only do that when you insist on feeling like your inner being feels. Someone asked a question. We're integrating it into the book. Esther just received this dictation last night. And the question was, how can I live happily ever after? And our brief answer flowed through Esther so easily. Tune to your inner being, who is always happy. You tune to your inner being, who is always happy, you will live happily ever after. You get ornery, your inner being is happy. Helpful?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Really good.